yet, are you? I just want to make sure I'm not missing anything.
No, I literally just hit the recording button. I was waiting for a few more people to join. We're literally about to start right now.
All right, cool, thanks.
You're welcome. How was everybody's day in the market today? What that mean?
I got beat up earlier this week, and I kind of shied away from it for a couple of days. I'm gonna get back in it tomorrow.
Oh, okay, awesome.
I'm some of my own choices, though, not yours.
Okay, yeah. I kind of like haven't been looking at the market too much lately this week after Monday. Well, I would say kind of after Tuesday.
I hope you guys hit some home runs tomorrow because I'm all in.
Oh yeah, we definitely gonna be looking at it tomorrow. You know, we normally jump on the live on Fridays.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm on the West Coast, so I get up kind of early to watch you guys.
All right, awesome. I hope everybody else had a great day in the market, and if you didn't, just take it as a lesson, and you can ask me questions if you took a trade and would like to learn from it. So today we're going to go over the RSI and how I like to use it. And we're also going to go over charting any stock that you would like to chart. I'm gonna just pick any random stock or ask anybody to choose a stock, and how, like, say we're gonna look at it like it's Sunday and we're looking to trade it and put it on our watch list for Monday. Things that I do on a chart and how I go from the monthly all the way down, and how I like to chart up my chart. All right, so when it comes to the RSI, first thing I like to tell people is the RSI is exactly what it means, right? And just to put the RSI on your chart, let me close it out down here. You will go to your indicators. I'm on a computer, so if you're on your phone and you're using trading views, you will go to FX on the bottom. Well, I think it's like I'm not on my phone right now, but I think there is like a little button, the settings button, and then click FX. But you will type in RSI right up here at the top, and it is called Relative Strength Index, right? After you type that in, you'll click it, you'll close this out, and it'll bring it up on here. As soon as this pops up, your RSI is the purple line, and this is like an EMA line to your RSI. I don't use that at all. So what I do is bring up my settings. Oops. Why is my settings not popping up? Left. Well, you can left click it. I was looking at it. I was trying to find it this way. Let me do it this way as well so people can know. These are the indicators that I have on right now. If you have an indicator and you want to go to your settings and they're already plugged in, you will click that right there, the little gear button, right? So I don't have the gear button down here, so you just left click it on your computer and click settings. And that's not it, because that's not my RSI setting. Hold on, give me a second. Why is it popping up? Because I really don't use that. There we go. So what I did was double click the yellow line, and then it popped up and it says RSI up here. And what you do is go to visibility, and I turn off my EMA. And if you don't know which line is your EMA, or because your Bollinger Bands would be on there too, I take off my Bollinger Bands, and I also take off my EMAs, because I don't use those things, and I haven't practiced using it. So I tend not to try to teach stuff that I don't know how to use, right? So the RSI is called a relative strength index, and it is exactly what it's called. It's a relative strength index to the time frame that you're trading or that you're watching, right? So I know I explained this a couple of times, but I want to take my time and explain it, and answer any questions if anybody has any questions, right? And you can drop them in the chat or anywhere. And if I don't see it, somebody please just let me know, but I'll take breaks and go into the general chat or anywhere just to see if there's any questions, right? So like I was saying, the RSI is a relative strength index, right? What settings are you using? When you say settings, what are you meaning when I say when you say settings? Settings for what? 2575. I'm still confused. Oh, okay, got you. Yes. On my RSI, and thank you for calling that out. On my RSI, I am using 25 to 30. Hopefully it's updated on this one. Yep, it is. I'm using 25 to 75, I believe, because I had just to 70. Sorry. No, this should be, oh, it's because I'm on. Hold on. Let me close this. What I'm on. Bang. Leave. Thank you for doing that, bro. Anytime you update your trading views and then you still have the website open, go ahead and close it out and open up a new browser so it can update your trading views. That's why I just closed that one out. So my RSI settings are from 25 to 75. And I had changed it because it was from 30 to 70. And in the course of me trading for a year, I always got faked out at the top, right? And always got faked out right at the bottom where I thought I was going to catch a bounce and it just kept dragging on down, kept dragging on down. Best way I can explain it. I know I'm on FANG. I think Apple was doing it today. No, it wasn't Apple. It was a different stock. I'll find one like that. But I seen the best thing I could, you see like right now, it's on a 1 minute. Don't worry about the time frame right now, but how it's bouncing nicely off of that 25 area. If you have it at your 30, that's 30 right there, like where I have it. You might want to catch that bounce and like, oh, I think it's gonna bounce, and it just kept going further down. So I just been studying it for a while, and I started seeing like, okay, 25 is a nice bounce, and 75. I was gonna push it over to 80 on the top, but it just depends on the stock that you're watching. But I've seen that generally they're all, majority of all of them on certain time frames are going to gap all the way up, and you don't want to have it all the way up because you don't want to start getting faked out, like being all the way at the top and it just going barely up there and then coming right back down. So you don't want to, you want to give yourself enough wiggle room, right? Let me go back to FANG because I did see something. So real quick, let me just finish explaining the RSI, right? So I'm gonna bring it all the way up to like the daily time frame, just so you can see something. So when you're looking at this RSI, when you hear people say, "Oh, it's oversold," it's oversold. Whatchamacallit, or I'm sorry, it's overbought. Go ahead and short. That necessarily isn't true, right? Because if the RSI is over the 70 mark, right? And I know I have the 75 on mine, but if it's over the 70 mark, that is saying that that stock is relatively strong right now and is extremely bullish. That does not mean, oh, go ahead and sell it off because it's reached its peak, right? And it's the same case, vice versa, when it's oversold or overbought, right? And let me find a stock. I should have found all this stuff, but I like going off the top of my head. And I'm gonna bring it over to the month so you can see something. Because the daily, what I was just saying, it depends on the time frame, right? On a daily, it's kind of accurate, but it can still continue to run and just give you a small pullback. And what's been running crazy right now? I can't think. So what I'm doing right now is just going through stocks. I'm trying to find a stock that is, or look, I could just show it to you on FTNT right here. So, and mind you, I'm on a monthly chart. Right here is oversold. And mind you, I'm at 75, not 70, right? The regular person is going to have theirs at 70 and 30. By the time it got this, and I'm going to put it like right here, is at 71, right? So when it got here on March the 1st, right? And that's one whole month, the next month, bow, everybody said go ahead and start shorting because it's overbought right now, right? And look at it now. The next month it shot up higher, right? It's like a little bit past the 70 mark. It's like at 78. The next month, May, continued to run, and you can see it on your candles. You got small little pullbacks, no type of pullback that indicated to get out your trade and that it broke the previous low of your candles, right? On each one of these months, all the way up to from, I would say, look, I'll catch it from the first pullback. It was running right here. This is your first pullback, and you can see it on the candles when I'm only looking at the RSI. But right now, you can see that pullback from January the 4th. This stock has been running crazy, right? All the way till August the 2nd of 2021. So if anybody decided to short them, even if I take them to the weekly, they got destroyed. Look, all the way through August right here. And that's July, August the 9th. So August the 9th is when it started pulling back. And even when it pulled back, it jumped up some more, right? And you can see it on your candles right here. That was the grave, not the gravestone, but the flying, the dragonfly doji, right? So that's what I mean by you have to understand how to use the RSI and what time frames to know when to short a stock when it's oversold, right? Because now you just see me speak about it on a bigger time frame. And another thing that I would tell you is just like look at the dates right here where I'm just circling. And this is a weekly time frame. June 14th. You try to short them because it's oversold, you got demolished. All those days, any of these weeks, you got demolished every single time you thought about shorting them because we saw this PMG at the bottom and we're just like, no, it's going to come down. It's going to come down. It's just running crazy. It keeps breaking all-time highs. As you see, it keeps breaking all-time highs. It has to come down, right? So that's not always the case. Always remember that. So important things about the RSI though is your 70 mark. Mine is a 75, but it's going to be your 70 mark and your 30 mark, and as well as your 50 mark. Anytime your RSI breaks, regardless if you're going up or down for calls, when it breaks your 50 mark, those option contracts start printing even more and more and more. Let me stop right there and make sure. Exxon, GTE. I'm not sure. Oh, okay. I remember asking for them stocks. I got you. I'll explain it on those as well. So anytime it breaks that 50 mark, those contracts, I've noticed that it starts printing even more and more and more. And as well, when it breaks that is all, I wouldn't say it's breaking a major support on the chart, but it starts to print out even more and it starts to take out if it has any nearby what can I say, targets. And when I'm saying targets is wicks to the down, like say we're going up to come back to the downside, it'll take every single one of those out. And you can see it right here. I'm gonna play off of this red candle right here, right? I'm gonna try to bring it down just for people that can't see that, right? That's right here at the 50 mark. This indicator also lags, right? So it's going to lie to you looking at it in hindsight. You see this big long wick, that's how much it lagged right there, that little bit of wick right there. Why? Because it was at the 50 mark. Sorry, right here. It was at its 50 mark and it broke and it went all the way down for a second, like shh, and it just lagged back up. And that's one thing I noticed with the RSI. I caught it watching the 1 minute time frame and the 5 minute time frame when I watch it break. And then I started seeing it pull back a little bit. And I'm like, how the heck did it just lose some of its line? And I'm like, oh, that's what they mean by lagging. Okay, cool, got it. So to help that sink in just a tad bit more, before I even make that sink in for a tad bit more, let's go down to the daily time frame, right? Because we know that when we do see something on a daily time frame, since it's a smaller time frame than the weekly and the monthly, the relative strength index is going to play its course on how it is. It's relative strength to that time frame, right? So it still goes again with your daily time frame. But after studying it so much, one thing that I did notice is it can run, but it all depends on the setup, right? Is it a bullish setup, a bearish setup? And also what I noticed is on a dailies, they normally sell right back off anytime it's up there, right? But you just got to catch it at a nice reversal. And what I mean by a nice reversal, let's see, anytime it tapped up here, because it's going to be right up here somewhere. See, on our RSI, it's going to be right here. So right here. So like, say if you try to short it this day, I'm just extremely honest. Somebody could have caught right at the top, but we could have been seeing it come down, and we still saw there was an inside bar, but would have thought, me seeing this from hindsight, us looking at it like this, I can't speak for any other trader, but I'm going to think it's going to still bull flag and still go up, right? Because that's just me. But then when you start, this is what we mean, because we could possibly be confusing people when we're talking about confirmation. This is what we mean by confirmations. Even though this is a bull flag, because I quickly seen a confirmation that was going to tell me, nope, I would have not thought it was going to bull flag again. That still would have been in my mind. But the fact that I'm on a daily time frame and the fact that I'm super oversold already, I would have been thinking, oh, finally got a red candle that is pulling back. It failed to break the high right up here. Because if it would have at least broke the high and then started filling a little bit, would have been like, oh, okay, let's see what happens. But if you would have caught this right here, you possibly would have took some of your profits that day if you would have caught it all the way at the top. But say you would have caught it at the bottom, and then the next day would have came out, you would have not been in, well, in FTNT. No, you would have not have been in that much of a profit. You actually would have been like breaking even still because of your theta. But once it started going down, you would have not caught that full move that you were looking for. And that's why I say it's important to understand your RSI, because you want to catch it not up here at the reversal. Once you see that reversal, and if you're trading a strat like I am, you could catch it at that, or you could wait for that break, right? The reason I say that, because you see how the candles, not only the candles, but the RSI played at the top. It was like consolidation. Even though it went down, look at this right here. It went down $1.91, 45 cents, 50 cents, $1.76, 49 cents, 51 cents, $2.97. That ain't FTNT. I know how to stop moves. You would have lost money unless you would have just been scalping this, right? On a smaller time frame. So what I mean by that is when FTNT really wants to pull back, it drops $5. It drops $6, right? Those are the real pullbacks on it. This was a little more than 289, but it'll drop more than that. You know what I'm saying? This $5, $6 range. It's probably like $9, 10, yeah, like $9 right here. All right, so let's get back to the RSI. So that's really important for you to know, where sometimes we want to catch that move because we believe that it's about to go down, but you have to wait for those breaks, right? Because as soon as it really broke right here, it kind of gap back up, not gap, but like try to push back up to test to see if it was going to run again, like how it did right here and ran, and it didn't, right? And that was the break. Boom. You see the sharp move going down? That was the break. Yeah, that was a swing move, but you still could have caught some of that move the next previous day, right? Because it still came all the way back down to 139 and it opened up at 141. So please understand that, and understand that the 50 mark also, when it's coming down, is where it likes to bounce. And I'm gonna be able to explain all of this a little better on a smaller time frame, because we understand that this is a daily time frame. So it's like, come on, help me understand it on a smaller time frame, because we're day trading. All right, perfect. Yes. Can everyone hear okay? Hopefully everybody can hear okay. Let me know if you can't hear. Got it. All right. So now when you start coming down to these smaller time frames, it's still everything. And I'm going from top to bottom, and I was going to do it from bottom to top. I was going to do it from the 1 minute all the way down to like the 3 month or something like that. But I found it more effective to do it this way. If you go to your 4 hour time frame, the same thing. Is like the same rules that I was applying to like the daily. Don't take the same rules that I was applying to like the weekly and the monthly. Each one is a little differently, but the way that I can make it click for you, oops, where do you candlesticks at? Right here. So look at this right here, the date. I could just move a little bit and you see that is going to give me 4 hour, two candles for day trading time period, right? The other 2 candles are like after hours and pre-market, but I'm on the 28th. Look how quickly it goes to the 27th. Look how quickly it goes to the 26th, right? You don't have enough time to try to use this strategy that I'm going to show you how to use with bigger time frames. This is something for, you can still use it for bigger time frames, but you have to ask me a question so I can know how you're trying to use it, so I can teach you how to use it, right? So real quick, if I come down to the hourly, same thing, but the hourly, it's rare that it does it, but the hourly can bounce from the top into the bottom in one day. But it is really rare that it does it because it doesn't have enough time. So look how it says the 28th right here, and notice how it's breaking. We'll talk about that in a second. Is the 28th. Look how quickly we go to the 27th. A little more time, right? The RSI was able to like give a little inverted cup and run back up and come back down, right? But some of this RSI movement that you're seeing is after hour movements, right? These last few small candles that we're seeing at the end. So yeah, that's what I was trying to say. So just keep in mind, look, the 28th, the 27th, the 26th, the 25th, the 22nd. I'm doing this on purpose so you can see like, oh, okay, cool. It does make sense what Moody's talking about when you take it to the smaller time frames. Take it a 45-minute, is going to do the same, right? I don't want to board you, so I'm going to quickly go to the smaller time frames. I'm going to take it over to the 15. 15 can touch the top and bottom at least once or twice a day, just depending on how that stock moves, right? Oh, and since I'm on FTNT, let me just throw it over to Exxon. We might see some as we're talking about it. So for Exxon, all right, so the 28th is all of this. So look how much time we had. As soon as the 28th comes in, it was able to break. That was the dip, catch it, and take it all the way back up. That's how much time it gave you, right? And everything that I told you about the RSI now on a bigger time frames, about the relative strength index and about it being at overbought and staying up there, or vice versa, it being at oversold and staying down there, it is the complete opposite. The complete opposite, right? Anytime you see it at oversold, that bad boy is going to come right back down. Best way I can show you is check it out right here. From when it went from oversold, boom, boom, boom. Soon as it went up here, mind you, mine is a 75. So the 70 is going to be like right here, right? Every time it hits it, boom, it'll consolidate, it'll pull back, try to fake you out, but it's going to come down. Regardless of the fact, I know if I get faked out up here and I'm on a 15-minute time frame, I don't like to average in, but that's a good sign for me to go ahead and average in, because I know that it's going to come down and I'll be able to break even or take some profits and get out that trade. The reason I'm saying it that way and that quick is because just because it goes down doesn't mean it's going to go all the way down here. It's going to try to go to that 50 mark and bounce from there, right? So just take a notice, and I'm gonna let me go ahead and close this one out a little more. Look at the RSI. Anytime it went up there, bloop, boom, comes back down. And keep in mind, as I'm showing you this, look at the time. Not the time, but the day. This is February the 28th. It went up there. This is probably and I'm gonna draw a line at my 70 so it doesn't confuse some people, right? About that's close enough. Right there. This yellow line is 70, is where everybody normally uses the RSI. I'm always gonna look for the 70 as well, but I want the 75 to be more visual to my eyes, right? Because I want to learn that one now. But every time it comes up there, bow, comes down, pull back. You see how it comes down? I just want you to be able to see these candles, but I think y'all get what I'm trying to show y'all. So every time it comes up here, boom, it gives you like a little, dang, hold on. I want to open it up so you can see the pullbacks. It's literally with your candles. Look, I can show you to you right here. Every time it hits up here, this is your 70 mark, this is my 75. It hits up here, it gets shorted. This is a head and shoulders pattern on your RSI. I wouldn't say 9 times out of 10, but like 6 times out of 10, when you see a pattern on here, it's normally going to be on your chart. You just have to like visualize it, right? So boom, it hits up here, comes back down. This little stop right here was going to try to like pull back to come back up. Didn't failed, right? If it fails a pullback, all it's going to do is pull all the way back to this 50 mark or try to get there. Every time it gets there, it's going to bounce. If it's really bullish, right? Boom, once it bounces, you see that's the pullback. The same pullback right here at the 70 mark. This one just failed and kept going down. This one didn't fail. This is what we call a bull flag, right? But this is a bull flag on the RSI. We're not trading the RSI, but it's weird when you say that, because if I take you to the chart, my boy, you see it right there. Bull flag. Right? And there it is right here. Like, as I'm doing it on the chart, look at it on the RSI. Bull flag. Right? Hold on, let me try to bring this back up. All right. So, another thing too, because this is what I'm going to show you on these smaller time frames. I like to call it the stairway to heaven, the stairway to the motherland. Anytime I see the RSI, and I love to find it on the bottom, but especially when it comes down to that 50 mark, once it shoots up and it gives me a pullback, I'm looking at the candles. I'm looking at my strat setup, 2, 1, 2, red to green. But this one went 3 because it went up and then, it opened up lower and then it went all the way back up. But I'm looking at, this is a stair, boom, 1 stair, 2 stairs, 3 stairs. You know what I'm saying? And sometimes you get lucky where it pulls back and it gives you another push. And that's what I was talking about. This push right here happens every single time on a weekly time frame. Every single time, I promise you. Whenever it wants to pull back and is on top of his RSI, it pulls back, it bounces off the top of it, and it pushes one more time. And especially if it has any type of like nearby targets, right? So now that I explained it that way, somebody said GTE. I'll go to that one as well. But hold on. Let me see what Exxon has to say for us. Dang, that was beautiful. I did it right there. See, look, this too. This is what I look for. And see, look, Exxon actually did it today, and I can show it to you on a chart. Well, I'll make this a little bigger. Can everybody see this fine too? Like, is it big enough? Hopefully. Let me delete all this. I'll redo it. All right. Let me check the chat real quick. Yes, yep. Gotcha. Awesome. So, oh yeah, bro. Spy gonna show it beautifully. The way it ran up today. So one thing I also look for, and I don't let this scare me out of my trade, is once the stock dumps, like how it dumps like this, and we go super oversold. I'm sorry that this keeps popping up and is in our way, but I'll bring this up. You see how it came all the way down here? And this is what I meant when I was going through stocks, and I was like, oh, this is why I brought it down to like 25. It's because I kept getting faked out at the 30. 30 is all the way right here. If you thought that was your bounce, because it normally bounces from there. Like, I don't want to move my my cursor. Just go ahead and look all the way to the left, like where you're seeing the time frames that say 1 day, 5 day, 1M, 3M, 6M, YTD. Look at the 30 mark and see how many, you see how it bounces on your 30 mark. I'm gonna move it real quick right here. It's like your 30 mark. It bounces right here. It bounced right here as well. But right here, it didn't, right? And it got flushed out. And anytime you see a stock get flushed out past its 30, it's 25, all you have to do is wait for it to try to come back up and short it again. Because that's going to be like, oh yeah, that's another trick of mine. When I'm looking like 15-minute time frame all the way down, my RSI also turns into support and resistance for me. And that happened over time. Like, I don't know how, but it's just how it started clicking in my mind. And that goes with when I told you, hey, anytime it's at the 70 mark, it'll reject or go over, it doesn't matter. But anytime it's oversold, it'll come right back down or bounce off a median. Median is like a support and resistance. This is like a resistance. This is like a support. Every time it comes down here, it's going to find support, come right back up. Every time it goes up here, it's going to meet resistance. And the thing is, this is not the chart. The candlesticks can meet resistance. Like all this right here is resistance. And it kept breaking. Pull back, kept breaking. This does not do that on smaller time frames. That's why I love the RSI on smaller time frames, because it's literally support and resistance. Like anytime in the human mind we think of resistance, is something that we cannot get past. It is resistance to whatever we're trying to do, or support. You cannot break past concrete. That is our support. That's how we're, gravity is what's keeping us standing. But hopefully I got what I'm trying to say by that. The RSI is exactly what I just explained. Anytime it goes up there, it's going to come down only on smaller time frames. Like if I like of course on a 30-minute is going to work as well, but the 30-minute, like you see from the 28th right here, all the way, boom, this is all the 28th. If that was the 28th, all of this, half of this is going to be the RSI on a 30-minute time frame. That might not be enough, right? But for a beginner, that's plenty of time, I'd say. And I'm glad that I'm able to think of these things, because I know a lot of people ask like, what's the best time frames and things of that nature. There isn't no best time frame. If somebody ever tells you this is the best time frame for your specific trade, that is a lie, because trading is very personal, and it's up to you and your emotions and how you control them and how you deal with them to know what time frame you want to utilize, right? Why are you drawing on my chart? But you could draw on my chart, it don't matter. But dang, I just got sidetracked with what I was gonna say. Oh, but I do like to tell people when it comes to the strat, use the 30-minute time frame, because it's gonna allow you to have different strat setups that you like and give you a better opportunity. I'll go through that a little later. Let's get back to this RSI. So one thing that I do like about this chart and that I look for on the RSI is the same thing that we look for on the chart, right? Higher lows, right? Higher lows, higher lows, higher lows than all of these, right? Like, because if I put my trend line on these, I'm just drawing it, it might be ugly, don't judge me. Boom, you can see where it's bouncing from, right? You can also do that, guy, on your RSI, right? If I take it all the way down from, I'm not gonna have it, move this guy. You can see how it's bouncing correctly on there, right? Don't mind this is just a 70 mark. So what I like to find, what I like to see is a bullish divergent. How we see these candles going down, they're going down, going down. Keep looking at these candles. I want it to stick in your head. These candles are going down, right? I'll make it bigger. Oops. Somebody in the chat. Typically when you use the RSI break above the 70 or below the 30 on a larger time frame, there's typically a catalyst that caused that movement. I ain't know that, D-Wiz. I ain't put that into effect. I'm gonna do some back testing on that and see. And real quick, since I read that, was that a question or was that a statement? Oh snap.
It was a statement, bro. I was just trying to add on to what you were saying when you were relating to those smaller time frames. Like, you consistently see the RSI break above the 70 or below the 30, like within a day's time frame. But when you get into those larger time frames, it's not consistent that you'll see that because the movement has to be so much more significant. But I was just adding to what you were saying, bro.
I appreciate it, bro. No, most definitely. I see the other question. Does this also work with 1 minute or 2 minute? Oh, bro, I'm about to blow your mind. Yeah, it works best on that time frame. So what I'm looking for is higher highs, lower lows. But before I teach you that part, I look for the divergent. So as we were saying, you see all these candles just flushing down, flushing down, flushing down, flushing down, flushing down, right? And then we're seeing all this rejection. As we're looking at the candles, we're like, nah, this is a bear flag and it's breaking a little bit. I think we're gonna head more down, right? But you got to keep in mind, we're on a 15-minute time frame. You got to keep in mind, look at the time, not the date, but the time. It is 9:45 in the morning. The market has only been open for 15 minutes, right? So with that being said, the extra candles that you see right here, just so you don't get confused, that's going to be pre-market, right? That's a strategy too that you can use anytime it's over pre-market. Let me just go ahead and draw a line so you can see it. Anytime you go back over pre-market, boom, entry point, wow, take your money, get out. And that's why we say like scalping, because somebody would have said, oh no, you got to catch the bottom or this or that. But that was your high probability trade because you knew that people and smart money would have bought right here just to go ahead and cash that. See, somebody caught it right there, took all their profit and pulled back. Some people got scared and didn't average in or just held. Boom, went crazy. And then they were like, oh man, I sold too early and da da da. So it's just, you got to learn this stuff and be disciplined with it, right? So what I look for is this bullish divergent. So what a bullish divergent is when you see your candles going all the way down like this, but you see your RSI traveling up. Again, you see the candles flushing down, you see your RSI going the opposite direction. And then on top of that, remember how I said, hey, if it comes down here, anytime you see it coming back up, like when it's under your over sold, when it's yeah, I said it correctly. When it's under the oversold, you can catch it right when it's looking like it's about to break back over for a short, right? Because it's just going to be a pump fake to go back down shorter. And that's still in this bearish flag, right? Once you start seeing that it did that and it popped back up and it's testing again, I wouldn't be too risky and try to do it again. Yeah, you could have did it again and got a little bit of extra money, but now you're seeing something. Higher highs, higher lows, right? And they're gonna say, I'm not gonna say they, it's just I hear a lot of people always say, oh, you're not supposed to trade the RSI or this and that. And it's just like, if you are needing confirmation for something, you're obviously using it to trade. So you're trading with it. It's a confirmation. So I've come to an understanding that when trading, if you're using an indicator, you're trading that indicator as well, because it is helping you and is guiding you to do something that is profitable for you, right? So, and the reason I say that is because I know I enjoy saying that I don't use indicators trading, but I obviously do. The strat's not an indicator, but the RSI is an indicator. So once we see this bullish divergent, candles going down, RSI going up, you can use the strategy where it's like, okay, once we break this right here on the bottom, it's no time to, oh snap. There's no time to be scared no more. But first learn the strategy, right? Once we break that, let me say it correctly, this is my 25 mark, but your 30 mark, right? Because your 30 mark is going to be probably this bounce right here. Let's see, let me go to the right. That's the 20. Oh, I'm sorry. No, 30 mark is gonna be another bounce, but it's gonna be like right here. You kind of see it right here, it kind of like stopped, then it broke through. But once it went over my 25 mark or your 30 mark, and you see this bearish divergent, go ahead and take that trade, right? But watch your candles. And of course, I'm just showing you this on a 15-minute time frame, but I'm gonna show you how to use multiple time frame analysis for it, right? And so I can remember, oh, I am, because I drew all these lines. Once you do this, and you're in your trade, you ride that guy up. You take some profit right here at this 50 mark. Why? Because look, once these got to the 50 mark right here, look how it consolidated. Remember when I said support and resistance? When it comes to the smaller time frames, I promise you, Poppy, this is support and resistance on this RSI. I studied it way too much. And even if I just go back test it real quick, you can just see we come down here, we go up there, we do a little bit of consolidating, even that bull flag. Look at the bull flag right here, right? Boom. Look how it just even kept breaking down because it couldn't stay above this RSI, right? It came down right here. Let me make it a little bigger, bring it right here so I don't lose my mark. It was right here. It came down a little bit to test, to come back up. Boom, failed, drop. Anytime you see that thing go up on your smaller time frames and it fails and rejects and starts going down, go ahead and short it. But you got to get out quick too. Remember, this is a 15-minute time frame. So when I go to the smaller time frames, it's going to happen even quicker, right? So I showed y'all that. Yeah, the bullish divergence. So another thing that I'll show y'all too is like, even when you get in here and you took some profit right here, say you trimmed, boom. As long as you jump over this, because once you break this median on this stock is going to start printing. It's just like once it breaks right here and it's going up, that contract that you're in is going to start printing, especially if it's a good contract. It's going to print there and it's going to start printing even more up here. So once you see this and it's just like basically bouncing, and what I mean by bouncing is staying over the RSI and is bouncing somewhere in some type of like some minimum support level, you're good, right? You're still good. Is the reason I say you're still good is because you broke past this. You just got to wait till you hit that 70 mark, right? Or you could take profits whenever up there, up like around here, and all you tell yourself is, okay, now I'm going to look for shorts. I'm going to wait for it to come up here and I'm going to look for some rejection. You see all of this wick, all these rejections, boom, right? One candle, once you see those rejections like that, and the way this is set up, one candle mirrors this candle right here. Rejection, 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 rejection. Boom, that's the candle that mirrored it. It's just the fact that we're in a 15-minute time frame. So we're going to have to connect to two of these bad boys. On a 30-minute, that was one candle. 15 and 15 is one candle. Boom, mirrored it all the way down. Look, that wick right at open, right? So that's one thing that you can do too. Another thing that you can do is once it, say if you were in calls and you took some profits, but let's say you got some runners and you got like 7 runners left, right? And you're up here and you haven't taken no profits on it because you just believe on this, you believe in this trade and you know how to read the candlesticks, and you're like, I'm expecting a pullback. I'm going to average in or buy more at the bottom. Is not, and the reason I say that is because even though you say, let's, you bought it down here, by the time this stock comes back down here, it's going to be worth the same, excuse my language, it's going to be worth the same price because these are sharp moves, right? As long as you get sharp moves, and if you get a sharp move the opposite direction that you're going, if you were going for calls, because we're talking about calls and it was puts, no matter your entry point, you're going to lose more value on that contract. And that's why I say, like, by the time it came down here and it bounced, if it, say you got these at 0.35 and it's not at 0.35 right here, it'll probably be at like 0.37, 0.38. It's going to be very close, right? And it also depends on the expiration date that you choose, right? Because if it was a weekly, yes. If it was a weekly, possibly just lost some, you're probably down like 3% or 2%. If it was a second week contract, it goes like, well, what I say, you'll probably still be up like 2%. If it was a little further out, you'll still be up a little bit more. You know what I'm saying? So another thing that you could do is, like, once it got up here and you had those runners that we were speaking about and it came down here and it flushed, you could go ahead and average in, right? Because it's not breaking no lows. Well, it's breaking these lows, obviously, but you're going to draw your trend line and you're going to see that and you're going to be like, okay, boom, we didn't break. Let me go ahead and average in. Or you can use this for the average in, right? On the, oh, let me wait for the real break. And the reason I say this shows me, it gives me a good explanation to give you guys on why it's like support and resistance and why the 50 mark is extremely important. And it also prints out a lot of money, right? Because look, once it got right here, yeah, this is pre-market, but it does this when the market is open as well. It'll come at the 50 and play at there, like keep bouncing, break down lower, come back, go up. And that's what you don't want to be in. You want to be able to get in once it's breaking, right? So let's bring this over down to like the 5-minute time frame. So if I go down to the 5-minute time frame, you'll be able to see exactly what I meant when I was talking about like averaging in. We caught it down here, right? Because this is how we drew it on the 15, so it's going to be the same on a 5-minute. We caught it down here at oversold. Once it got, at oversold, and once it got to overbought, boom, shorted, right? Boom, comes down, and you can see how it's playing to come down, right? But this is also right here what you called a bearish divergent, right? The reason this is a bearish divergent is because, and I didn't even notice it. I noticed it because I was explaining something. It's the simple fact that your candles are going up and these are going down. Look, RSI is pointing down, keeps going down, but look at your candlestick. And it's because of all these bounces. Let me open it up so you can see it. Is boom, bounce. Let me delete this so you can see it better. Is that pullback right there, that bounce up, that pullback. And you see that bounce up ain't much, but since it's strong, it's going to be much to the stock, right? Boom, bounce up. Those two little bounces right there completed that whole bowl, right? That went from 81.90 all the way to 82.60, damn near $1 move, right at the top where it supposedly is oversold, right? But boom, it did it, double topped it. It double topped again right here. But this is also, when you see that double top, it was a cup and handle, boom, PMG. And that's why I just went crazy right there at pre-market. But long story short, you see this bearish divergent. That's what a bearish divergent is. Anytime you see your stocks, anytime you see your candlesticks pushing up, and I'm starting from right here, and you can see my candlesticks still push up, and the RSI is pushing down. They're still going up. As I was all the way up here, I'm all the way down here, and my candlesticks are higher. That is called a bearish divergent. And that's how you know that it's going to reverse and go right back up on the RSI as well, because your candlesticks is telling you that it's going to go up. Your RSI is pushing down, right? So, and then you can also see how it bounces on this 50 mark, like I was explaining. Boom, bounce, come back up, bounce, comes back up. Just like on support and resistance, when we have classes on it, like we know, if the candlesticks continues to tap a certain line on your chart, it's going to get weaker and it's going to break it. Same thing to the downside. Same thing on your RSI. As long as it keeps bouncing off of this, like coming down, bouncing, going up, and it's not going up crazy, creating higher highs, it's going to break. And look how it consolidated and broke right there. Boom, and finally went down. That was a hard flush, right? So for the person that had a question, let me bring this down here because it normally shows me that somebody has a question. But I know the dude wanted to see it on like the 1 minute. The 1 minute and the 2 minute time frame is like super, super, super easy. But it's also because I can read it very well. Like as soon as I came to this stock, I'm already seeing like, oh snap, cup and handle, inverted head and shoulders, shoulder, head, shoulder. And I'm specifically talking about the RSI because that's the class that I was that I'm giving. I want y'all to see what I'm seeing on this RSI as well, right? So you can see that it is actually following this trend line, but on a 1 minute, you can see how it breaks it, right? So is the 1 minute is its own world, bro. For the person that was asking if it works on this time frame, is its own world, but yes, indeed. Let me open it up on how we're actually going to be able to see this. So on your 1 minute time frame, it's a beast, bro. Let's go to the beginning of the 28th. It's gonna take forever because it's the 1 minute time frame. So I'm gonna start like from right here at 11. I really want to take it from beginning so I can show you right here, 28. All right, so all this is pre-market. So check this out on Exxon. This is pre-market. Oh, I'm sorry. Right here was pre-market. Anytime I see it on a 1 minute at oversold, shorted is exactly now the 1 minute and the 3 minute is exactly what everybody's been hearing about the RSI. Oh, if it's oversold, short. If it's overbought, I'm sorry. If it's overbought, short. If it's oversold, go for calls. I promise you it works. And it's because I don't want to say it, 'cause I want more experience. I want to be able to be like, man, I've been trading for like 5 years and stuff like that. But in the course of the year that I've been trading, that's what happens, literally. And then this next thing that I'm gonna show y'all is just phenomenal. I use it on a 5-minute time frame all day, every day. All right, so look, and we're gonna start from the 28th, and I'm gonna break it down. Then I'm gonna just go through what I want to show y'all, and it's basically this. As long as I'm gonna just say it real quick, as long as your RSI is over your 50 mark and it's staying over it, the stock's gonna shoot up crazy, bro. Crazy, especially if you're looking at the 1 minute, you know. So boom, the stock market is about to open. You can see this in pre-market. You already know is about to go back down, right? In pre-market. The reason why I don't care about all this green and we're seeing it gapped up, I don't care about that. I see the RSI. Please pay attention to this because it took me a while to notice this, but all these indicators that we use, whether it's the RSI, MACD, well, let me not talk about the rest of them because I don't know, but on the RSI, it is live in pre-market. If you have your extended hours on, and that's why I only use my extended hours. I don't trade with this right here. Well, I'll switch it over in a second because I don't want to lose my place on the chart, but I don't trade with regular time. I trade with extended time. I want to see all movements that happens in pre-market and aftermarket because a quick strategy, and I know I've said it several times, is once you see the stock over your pre-market levels for that day, go for calls because they're going to go for calls. You could see like once it got up there, they just, it was like right here and they went for some calls. They got it, but then they shorted back down, but it went right back up. That was just a pullback because we're on a 1 minute time frame. Remember that. And if it's under your pre-market, if it's under your pre-market lows, like these would be pre-market lows, like right here. These are pre-market highs, right? This is like a pre-market low right here too. This is 9:30, so this is not a pre-market low. This is your first candle of the day. But this was your pre-market low, and you can see how this candle opened up under it. But this candle was an actionable signal trying to tell you that it wanted to go up, but it failed. Doesn't matter, it still failed, but this is a 1 minute time frame, and they try to talk. I don't know. I'd be like, they be trying to talk. These candlesticks be trying to talk to me. But long story short, it was an actionable signal, came all the way back down, and that's also an action. Was not an actionable signal. It's just a bullish reversal right here. Of course, it was a 2 down, 2 up, but tweezer bottoms. But long story short, let's start it from right here. Let me see. Boom. I knew it was going to get shorted. That's what I was trying to say. Is because it was already up here at overbought, right? But it was at overbought in pre-market. So look, boom, gets flushed down. As soon as the market opens 9:30, it is now down here. Whenever you see a stock down here, look, all that happened, it just faked people out because that's what the stock market does within the first 5 to 15 minutes. It is meant to fake you out. Like, which way do we want to go? Calls, push, let everybody fill their orders. All right, let's pick this side. Let's rob all these people money. That's what's going to happen. But you can see it down here. Double bottom pattern, right? Bottom, go up. Over here, it just gave you a tweezer bottom on your candlesticks, but it also gave you a inverted head and shoulders, trying to let you know, like, baby boy, don't play with me. We're trying to go up. Bow, bow. Boom, with bull flags, right? So with that being said, double bottom, then went up, right? So another thing, just to bring it back, that's the stairways to heaven, right? To the motherland. Bounce, stops. These are all bull flags too. Bounce, pulls back, bounce, breaks your 50 mark. And we're on a 1 minute now. right? On a 1 minute, you gotta be very careful because it'll break your 50 mark and you'll see it right here. It'll be like, boom, oh man. And why? Because the people that are trading this, they're putting in a good bit of capital and I don't know what they're doing, but in my head, I'm like, you bought 100 to 300 contracts and sold right there, boom. And then it TTO'd whoever's like scalping in 1 minute, right? I used to scalp it a while back, but it was messing with my psychology. Gotcha. It was messing with my psychology. But long story short, boom, it fails and comes right back down, right? The good thing is it never came back down to your oversold 30 mark, right? And it kept traveling up. What I look for is these stairways to heaven every single time, regardless regardless when the stock goes down. That's what I'm looking for again on the RSI is, okay, boom, we found a low, we drop. I don't go for the first low. I go for the second or the third low. Boom, okay, we're bouncing now and we're going back up. I look at the chart. All right, cool. I like that trade. Let me go ahead and take it. And that's why you'll hear me like, oh, trim, 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 trim. And it's because I'm looking at multiple different things as I'm trading. And especially even if I'm day trading, I'm like scalping. If I go with a next week contract, I just have the mentality that I might swing this if it goes well for me, but I'm still day trading, scalping it. It's just better with time. Not time, but it's better due to time decay. And I'll try to remember that with showing y'all some leap contracts. And for people that are wanting to swing, it's probably best for you guys. And I forgot to mention this in the option class, but I will be doing another one soon. It's probably best for you guys to go like 4 months to 5 months out. And when I say that, it's like you go to Robinhood and check out, I don't have my phone. I'll grab my phone here in a second, but you could check out, say, a stock that you like that is a small account builder. When I say small account builder, your weekly is going to cost anywhere between 50 to 100 bucks. And if you go further out and you go out the money, you'll see that the Greeks still play better than a weekly. Well, I wouldn't say a weekly. It still play better than a 2 week or a 3 week contract. But your theta is better. You're going to pay a little more on the premium side, but your theta, you'll be losing like 79, 29 cents, you know what I'm saying, a day. So you can hold those. Or if you was at work and you just missed the alert or something like that, and it's just like, man, I got Zay or I got Moody's entry point, but I missed Avery's exit, you know, it'll still help you where if you lost 30% on a weekly, you won't lose that. It won't affect you that much on this contract. And then on top of that, it'll also give you more time to be able to hold that contract and, you know, recover from it. Let me go over here and ask these questions. What is the strat? You said you strat is not an indicator. The strat is like a method of trading. It's just the guide on like, I don't want to say a guide, it's just a method of trading. It's like, say, you trade supply and demand. Supply and demand is not an indicator. It's just a form of trading, right? It's just knowing. Let me bring these charts up.
Hey, Moody, if I could describe the strat, I would say it's a simplified way of reading the chart. Like it kind of dumbs it down for me, honestly.
Got you. What about stop loss? Thank you, D-Wiz, my bad. My mind on, you already know how I am, bro. But what about stop losses related to the RSI? Can you be more specific? Like, what do you mean? Like, now that I would say like made me think like of what everybody was saying. Hey, don't trade the RSI. But nah, bro, I wouldn't even put those two together. Stop loss and RSI. Nah, that sounds like a blown account.
The stop loss should just be an added confirmation. Like you don't want to strictly trade the RSI because the candles are king.
Facts. This is just like a little cheat sheet. And And I hopefully y'all can see it. It's like how it's just going up. As long as it goes over the 50 mark, it stays over there. It may come down and try to bounce, but by the time it gets up here to the oversold, it is short some more. Let me see some more questions before I keep talking. For example, for the statement I mentioned above, Elon Musk initially offered to purchase Twitter on the 5th of April. The RSI on the daily for Twitter broke through the 70 that day.
He was talking about on the chart, it breaks on news.
Yeah.
Whenever it's news or something.
Yeah, that's what he was talking about. Man, why y'all gotta do that? I gotta show everybody all this stuff.
So I specifically meant for like those larger time frames. You won't see those larger time frames have an increased volatility enough to where it would break above that 70 or below the 30 often. But when you have a catalyst like that, that's when you see those extreme movements to the upside or to the downside on the RSI.
Oh, yeah. Feel you, bro. Feel you. I'm gonna have to study this. Thank you for that, D-Wiz. How do you find the stocks you want to trade? Like Critica. I'm trying to find like the best way to answer that. And it's because I've been trading for a year. So like my watch list is extensive. So it's not hard for me to find a stock that I want to trade because I have so much. Like I just start categorizing them now. So I could just, oh, I want to trade energy today, or I want to trade this today. So what's the best way to answer that real quick before I talk more about this RSI? Dang, look at this. This is supply and demand. Even though this is a bull flag, for the person that was asking what they had asked, when I was replying, like when D-Wiz spoke about what the strat basically is, a simplified way of trading. That's like say supply and demand. I wouldn't say supply and demand is a simplified way of trading, but that's what it is. Demand, base, rally up, and it does it again. Demand, base, rally back up. And that's what supply and demand is. I love supply and demand. And you can really see it a lot on a 5-minute time frame. I kind of got sidetracked with that because I just saw that. What was the question? My bad about that. Oh, how do I find stock? Okay, so what would be the best way to answer that? Who asked that question? I got a question for you. Galaxy Tap 888. If you're still on here, if you don't mind, still please respond and just say no. You don't have to tell me your size account, but you could lie to me and just tell me any kind of size, but it really depends on the size of your account. That's the best way I could answer that question, right? Because you may have $1,000 account and you might go want to play Tesla and blow your account. Like you shouldn't play Tesla with $1,000 account unless you know how to read your Greeks and option contracts and how to go out the money and how to scout something and get out really quickly, then yes, go for it. Critique. Somebody says they use FinViz and then they go to the scanners. All right, so one thing that I would tell you, that I would tell you to do is because please follow what everybody is saying too, because those are great ideas too. One thing that I would say is, and let me show you because I know a lot of people are visual learners. Let me just share my whole screen. Whenever one of us puts out a trade, let's go to Zay. Boy, been killing it. Like, let's see, Zay put out Delta 42.5 put. I will take Delta, and if you're using trading views, I will add it to my watch list. You don't even have to worry about, oh, let me categorize it for airlines and stuff like that. I'll put it on my watch list. Somebody put out Gap, I'll put it on my watch list. While you're in this Discord, and I'm talking in a form of someone that is extremely new to this, right? Because you may want to you may say, you know what, let me do what one of the members said, because I'll do it as well and go to FinViz. I think that's a great idea, but I'm gonna go to FinViz, but you're so new, you don't even know how to use FinViz. You don't even know how to even search for news on FinViz or whatnot. And now you're looking for scanners and stuff like this, and you're gonna start confusing yourself or probably get dismotivated and be like, man, this is just too much, man. It's like, so that's what I say. Like, if you are in the general chat, right? I'd rather just show you so you can see, because some people are like that. All right, Amazon, boom. I'll put Amazon on my watch list, right? And what you have to understand, this is just a watch list. You can create a whole nother tab like this week's watch list, next month's watch list, whatever the case may be, right? You just want to fill up your inventory, your bullets. You want to have a whole bunch of bullets. Why? Because if this one had your setup and this one had your setup, well, let's say a different way. All 20 of these didn't have your setup, but then the last 3 had your setup. Now you found something, right? But I can just scroll down through the general chat because people are going to be talking all day. Hold what? Satoshis. I think people talking about NFL, but yeah, I could just stop at any random place and somebody's going to be talking about a stock, you know, earnings. What earnings did he play? You know, somebody talking about Zen up 3.3 after hours. Let me go ahead and put that on my watch list, right? And then what happens after that is now you start looking at that and then you'd be like, okay, cool. Let me see. I might want to trade this, right? But then you might start having questions and then you might just go to the daily chart and then you might just see, wait, oh no, I don't want to trade this. Why don't I want to trade this? Because I only have $1,000 account and I'm more than positive that this is a penny stock. So the option contracts are going to be cheap, right? So if I have $1,000 account and I'm only going to use 10 to 20% of my portfolio, that means I'm only using $100 to $200, right? On any given trade, or possibly spreading it out. Am I going to be okay to just trade this stock knowing that it's cheap, but I'm going to have to load up and really catch a momentum move, you know what I'm saying, to really see that profit. So that's one thing that I would say is anytime you hear somebody talking about a stock, put it on your watch list. If you don't have trading views and you're not utilizing trading views because you're not wanting to look at charts, or maybe you're just not ready to do that, but you're still wanting to, like, you're possibly on Robinhood or something and looking at charts that way. I don't know. I'm just trying to come up with ideas. Still create a watch list on there where now you can look at that stock and like, hey, this is what that did, right? But to answer that question in a whole different manner, for me, since I know all these stocks that are moving, one of the first things I do is I go to bar charts and I just try to see what sector is moving, right? If I'm paying attention to the market, I'm going to see what's really like moving. Tech is moving. So, you know, Apple, NVIDIA, things of that nature, right? Microsoft, those things are moving right now. Energy is moving crazy. The stock market is doing well, right? Everything's booming. Everything's doing well, right? And it's because we reached a little bottom. So I look at it like it's trying to pump it back up, possibly shoot it right back down, right? But I'm not saying it's going to happen tomorrow. I don't know. I'll have to look at the market. But I'll generally do this. And then this is another way too, where you can find stocks. I'm on bar charts. First thing, if I don't know nothing about the stock market and I'm trying to get more familiar, stock market leaders. That's the first thing I'm seeing right there, right? Boom. All right, cool. Let me go ahead and grab all of the, oh my God, I gotta hit Miss D up. All right. So basically, dang, my bad, I just felt bad. But long story short, you can take all of these stocks and add them to your watch list, right? You go to the full list and it'll give you all the stock market leaders. You know what I'm saying? Also, unusual options, you could go there too to see like where money's flowing, like kind of use it like the flow algo, and just see like what's moving today. Like these are all calls right here, right? This is how you read this. This is the symbol. This is the strike price that, say for Tesla, that somebody's going for. They're going for calls for this expiration date, 4/29, at that bid price, and and it tells you how much. I don't want to be incorrect because I was about to say, no, that is not, that would be incorrect. I was about to say he bought 228 contracts. No, that's incorrect. That is an open entrance, and then that is your volume right here on this strike price, right? And then volume versus open interest, and that's how you read it. And then you'll open it up and like you'll go through it, right? Like all of these were calls for 870, 840, 860, 845, all for the same expiration date, right? So somebody's trying to bet on that Tesla's going up, but then you can like, let me just open it up for you. You can open it up and really go through it and see, like you could filter it, but I'm pretty sure if you use the filter, you got to be paying for bar charts. Oh yeah, and also Mark Monroe, I didn't finish, I actually fell asleep to the video. He actually just did an interview with I forgot his name, was it John? I forgot the dude's name, but some guy from bar charts. But yeah, so you could just go down through here, you see all these calls, and say if you're specifically looking for Tesla, you just want to see all the calls and where they're putting their money at, right? And then you want to see, do you see any puts versus the calls? You know what I'm saying? I'm seeing a whole bunch of calls. But boom, back to the sectors. So for sectors, you go, and this is another way also where you can find stocks to trade, right? You know what? Technology went crazy. Don't be biased. There's two ways to think about it. Okay, I could look for calls since they've been pushing yesterday. I go for calls, or I can go for puts. Let's see. Let me go ahead and look at that chart, because what D'Angelo loves to tell me, and he loves to explain this to everybody. And D'Angelo, if you're still on, correct me, because I know I'm going to say it completely different than what you tell me. Is any stock or any security, equity that has what's the word he uses? Basically, he says any security that has a major move to the upside has another significant move back to the downside. So like anything that goes up must come down, but he says it in a super like dope way.
We try to remember it. I'm out here walking, so if y'all don't hear me clear, then that's because of that, and I'm about to pass out. So every action in the market causes a reaction, and then there's a correction.
Exactly. Every action say it again, bro.
Every action in the market causes a reaction, and then there's a correction.
Every action
or an overreaction is the word. Every action in the market causes an overreaction, and then there's a correction.
Every action in the market causes an overreaction, and then there's a correction. And I can show that on the chart here in a second. But long story short, I click what was it? Dang, I forgot the name of the sector. Information technology. So tech sector, Apple, all of these stocks are going to be in here, AMD. And then you could look at this, and then you can see which stock was really holding it up, which stock really pushed it up. ANSS really pushed it up, right? And AVGO, especially ABDB, ACN pushed it up too, right? But I'm already knowing off the top of my head, these are like big plays to play, right? But you can see what actually held that market up. Well, not the market, the sector up. And then you can also, trade some of these that you see like, oh, okay, wow, they went crazy. So exactly what D-Wiz said. Well, no, we don't want to do the Lamb research. But I don't know what this is. Let me see, TYL. Now
you can pull up ApeCoin today.
Look, this is what he means right here. Any action in the market causes an overreaction, and then there's a correction, right? This right here is not an overreaction, because you see it's just trying to get back to its resistance point, right? So it broke its bear flag, because this was his bear flag right here. Then it broke down to the bottom. Now it broke back to the upside, right? So that's what I'm basically trying to say. This move that we're seeing right here is not like a crazy reaction. This was meant to happen. It already been up there. It's filling up this wick, all this price action, right? Because this could have possibly been a gap down or something of that nature. I'm over here trying to see if it was a gap down for real. Yeah, slick. Yes, it was. Yeah, so what was I gonna do on TYL? Oh yeah, thank God you said that. I wouldn't do it on TYL. Why? Because I'm seeing a PMG on there. I think we was on a daily. Yeah. I'm seeing a PMG. And then another thing that I love to do, now that I'm not talking about the RSI, I'm just and I'm gonna chart one chart real quick for you guys too. One thing that I love to do is make the chart small like this, right? And I like to find like little bounces. Like you could just draw lines like this. And check this out. I just drew this one. And I love when I see red. Why? Because it's gonna come down to a support and it's gonna bounce hard, right? Even though these are red candles, this was a hard bounce. Look, it closed at $379.56. The next day it opened at $431.03. I love when something drops significantly hard because it normally gaps up. I've been caught that, but then I learned that also, like I just love to get flowers, but I also learned that because Jordan does that a lot. Like, and I noticed that like he catches the bottom a lot of times. And I started studying like what he would do sometimes, and like when he puts out his charts, and I'm like, oh my God, that's what he's doing. This is why he averages down, because he literally tries to catch the bottom. And if he doesn't catch the bottom, well, he's gonna catch the bottom with the average. But see, that's what I mean by like catching the bottom, how I drew that line. You see, that was his bottom, it closed, right? But you could have got in early in the morning and took it. If you would have swung it, you would have been down. Hopefully you didn't sell or panic sell because it was just too early. Boom, and it went crazy, right? And that's what it's doing right here. Now, you could also turn on your EMAs, right? And you know, like me, I'm gonna be like, nope, I'm not swinging this, right? Just because I understand that every time it went up to this 20 EMA, it shorted right here, boom, shorted. I like the fact that it's a 2-2 reversal, right? But I will have to see how it opens up tomorrow, right? Because now let's go ahead and go back before I check this chat. Let's go ahead and look at this RSI. RSI is about to break, remember? And then you'll have grids on your on these things. I've cleared out majority of all my grids and I left these, and then I started noticing how it bounces on these little grids sometimes. But don't mind me, I'll be looking at too much. But on a daily, I'm seeing, okay, we need some more. It can go a little more, right, to hit this 50 mark to get shorted, right? And this is what I mean. Look, boom, it didn't get to the 50 mark, but it got back up there and it shorted. You want to see momentum like this going into your RSI on the 50 mark, boom, breakout. If you don't see momentum like this, you want to see momentum like this, breaks, and then comes on the top of it, just like on the candles, like break, oh, bouncing, now it pushes back up. Same thing on your RSI, right? So I'll just break it down on this one real quick. Let me turn this thing off. Geez, I like that. See, now this is what helps me. Daily would have told me not to swing this. 4 hours telling me, hey, buddy, go look at the rest of your time frames, because it just broke my median. Remember how I keep telling you about median? It's cleaning up that partial of that gap, right? So I like that. Then I'm also, when I'm looking at all this stuff, since I've been trading a little longer, I see it much more quickly. So I'm just gonna back test real quick and just see like, okay, cool. But I'm gonna break it down for y'all. It's like I'm seeing that break right here. So I'm gonna come back and I'm gonna see right here. I'm gonna test this break. Okay, look how it broke and we went crazy. As soon as I do that, I'm gonna look at my candlesticks too. Falling wedge or bull flag that's failing, right? Boom, breakout. PMGs ate it all up, right? Because it's like a bull flag. You see it, it's just longer. That's just all. And it broke back up. Well, like a V-shaped recovery now. But it just depends on how you want to see it, right? I'm gonna look at that because that's my break right here to keep going up. Then I'm gonna come back over here. Is that my same setup? Somebody answer that question. Is that the same setup? Dang, it's the same setup. You see it, drops, go up, drops, go up, and it gave you a new low. Wow. And then it's breaking RSI right here, right? Now let's back test it one more time. And this is not like a real back test because this is not that much testing, right? All right, we tested that part and we looked it up right here, right? This one, and it's glad that I just seen this. You do not want to test this part because this is not what you're trading, right? Yes, this is the break of the 50 mark, but keep in mind, we're breaking from the bottom up, falling, going up. So anytime you're testing something, you want it to at least be kind of more similar to what you're trying to do, right? So we tested this one, we come over here, shouldn't test this one because we're going from the top to bottom, but we could test this one, right? Because we're going from the bottom up. This one rejected, cool, no problem. This one broke through it, then found some support, and then you see how it found some support, broke past through it, then it went up. That's why I said you couldn't test this side that way, right? So yes, we're breaking. So we're going to break and we're going to come back and test possibly, right? Or we're going to break strong. Come back over here, buddy. The drop coming from the bottom breaks. I'm just repeating this over and over. I'm not trying to have it redundant, but sometimes it sticks or it gives you more confidence. Like, nah, bro, I just seen it happen in December. I just seen it happen in January. Dang, Moody just showed me like every single time it does it. So that's what's gonna, and then once you apply it, it gives you confidence. And we're also gonna be creating a new channel where, like sometimes I give homework. We do have a weekly homework tab, but I genuinely really want to see you guys win. And you guys are already winning. Y'all in this group, come on now. But I would like you guys to you see how you're learning about the RSI, drop a chart. We're going to create a channel where it's chat with any analyst, but basically show your work. And also, it could create an opportunity for you. You never know that. Or you can be helping the next person that's maybe shy, that was in your stage that they didn't want to talk. Now they're talking, right? But long story short, like how you're learning about the RSI today, hey, go ahead and, chart up your chart, draw something up. Like say you was back testing something, and you're like, hey, look, I saw this and I'm seeing this right here. Go ahead and take a screenshot, drop it in the channel, and be like, hey, Zay, hey, Moody, hey, D-Wiz, what do you think about this? Or what do you think about that, right? Always engage with everybody. And just got to shout out D-Wiz, he's killing it in the crypto space and he's dope, super dope. He's like one of my mentors in the crypto space, right? But you can also ask him about chart analysis. Me and him strat together. He's a strat trader too, and always remember that you may see a cryptocurrency moderator or, a Forex moderator, but if you have a question about the charts, they're going to be able to help you as well because they don't have to, but majority of all of them are using technical analysis, especially if they're trading. So we're all using the same thing. So if you know how to read, that's why I say, if you know how to read the candlesticks, you can trade anything that you set your mind to, right? But okay, yeah, that's what we were talking about, breaking the RSI, the 50 mark, boom. So we'll come back over here, check it out again, breaks, right? And we're only going from bottom to top. We don't want to go from top to bottom because that's going to show us the breakdown that way, or it's going to show us the breakdown to come back up, right? Like how I did it right here. So again, boom, right there, broke. This one, it came down to the bottom, broke. Everything was on. Every single time it's trying to break, it's gonna break. This is the part that sucks. When you catching it break and it's doing this, and then it want to freaking consolidate on you, or it just wants to like, oh man, that's when it's just like, man, hopefully I bought time on that one because I know it's gonna do what I needed to do, but I need some time. But then it didn't do what it needed to do, right? Because it just gave like what that's a bearish flag. Yeah, it's a bearish flag, but then a rising wedge if you're just trying to look at it from here to here. And that's why I say like there's patterns within patterns, because somebody would have just been looking at this part of the chart and would be like, that's a rising wedge and it fell. I could have been looking at this whole part right here and I would have been like, oh, that's a bearish flag that broke down and then V-shaped recovery and recovered all the way back up. But, and that's why I always say nobody's analysis is wrong, because if you can read the chart and you're analyzing something and you're or breaking something down, you're that signal. But all right, I'm gonna find a chart to break down. Let me get to these questions real quick. What are those 1, 2, and 3 indicator called on your charts, and what are they supposed to tell us? Do you also use support and resistance on the chart when you use RSI? It almost seems like you don't need it. Should I learn? Should you learn, or should I? Should you learn candlesticks before the strat, and can you learn candlesticks viva the strat? Yes. All right, I just read all of them so I could just answer them. I'm gonna answer that one with the other one. So for Raymond, do I use support and resistance? I do, but I see it. So it goes with like with what you kind of say, like it's like it almost seems like you don't need it. Yes, I do need it. I've been doing it over time that I already see it. Like once I do it like this, I already see like this right here. I just draw them real quick. That's support, that's support, that's support, that's resistance, that's resistance, that's support, that's resistance, that's support. So it's like if I start doing that, I'm gonna confuse myself. So it's like whenever you see lines like that on my chart, it's like those are targets. I'm just trying to hit them, right? Like, didn't I put out, I think I did. No, it wasn't Target, it was Netflix. Well, I was charting it because I didn't put it out. What's the ticker? Got it. Since nobody want to help me. No, I'm joking. I wasn't going through charts and I was just seeing it. I was like, God dang, it hit every single one of my levels. Whenever I drew this, every single one of my levels got taken out. So that's what I mean. Like when you see lines like that on my chart, they're levels. They're levels, but they're targets to be taken out. Either to the upside or the downside. But yeah, that'll really confuse me. And I don't even know what chart I did that on. So now I'm gonna forget. I think it was TYL. Yeah. But yeah, but I would definitely say draw support and resistance. It could definitely help you a lot. When I draw support and resistance, if I like want to draw it, I normally go to my like daily, but it's like my I say indicators, but my strat kind of gives me all of that. To be honest, I have to figure something out. I don't know if anybody uses the strat that I use, but these people just messed up this whole entire indicator. And look, I'll tell y'all just in case somebody is using it, because now I have the strat assist on, because I'm gonna see if I like to use it. I'm trying to learn something about it. But this is what I was gonna show y'all. I had to black out all these grids because they updated it. And oh, that's what I show you. Let's draw a line. This throws me off. I don't understand what they did here. Oh, wait, what? Man, I'm telling you, man, I don't know. All right, so see, it's not, oh, well, no, it is doing it somehow, because let me see if I go to a different time frame if it does it. It draws like all these weird little lines like off of my levels. No, it's not doing it. Oh, snap. bad. I'm learning something right now. Because it's been doing it all week and it's just been throwing my chart off. Oh, wow, they stopped doing it. I'm gonna make sure. Hold on. Oh my God. Oh man, y'all so beautiful. All right, so that's why I had all these things blacked out on my strat, and it was because my opening levels were like really messed up. And I used them. That's another reason why I don't have to draw a lot of lines to answer that guy's. I think it was Raymond, to answer your question a little more. And wow, they really did fix it. So like you see this big white line that's under it right here. I have to understand what is it, but this line was like drawn out crazy, and it was like long, and then it started going like different places, and I was like, man, what the heck? And it was just throwing off my trading, and I was just like, bro, I'm not about to trade. It's throwing me off. But I'm glad that happened, because I'll be able to help you guys with this strat assist, because I'm starting to use it a little more. Let me turn this off. I really love it, and it's because it makes me use less indicators. You see this TC right here? That's this. That's that you always see on my the full time frame continuity. On the strat assist, it automatically has it, and I like that. I've been playing with it, and I see on like on the strat assist, this is like, what was it? Blue. Yeah, blue is I think my weekly high, daily low, weekly low. And I was setting it up like this because this is how I trade with the other strat, right? I'll turn it back on. But going back to like support and resistance, see, I'm on a 15-minute. This is another reason why I don't need, like, I see the other support and resistance, but with me trading the strat and me having my opening levels, there's no reason for me to clutter my chart, because all these extra lines that you see, these are supports and resistance. This is my daily opening. That is my support for daily. I know if I come down here, either I break and flush down and take out these nearby targets, right? And then pop right back up, or I bounce, right? It's just like, this is my 15-minute support. Oh man, hold on. This is my 15-minute support opening. Not, I said support. It's just the opening level, but it's a level to it, right? When it opens up there, like you could go to any other candles, like come all the way over here. This one kind of opened up right there. This one did too. So it's still an accurate level, right? So, but it isn't support and resistance, but I use it kind of similar to it, right? Because you opened up at your 50, at your 15, your 15-minute time frame opened up right here, right? Because there's your 15-minute, boom. It shorted soon it got to your the opening of your 60, right? That's the opening level of the 1 hourly time frame. Your candle opened up there and it dropped down. So it's one of these candles. I'll just go to the hour so I don't get confused. It's this candle right here, opened up right here and came down. Let's see the 15-minute level where it tries to say that is at. See, it's saying it's at the same level. Oh, it's because it's going off of, I'm sorry. It's going off of pre-market, aftermarket levels. Let me go find a chart. But before I find a chart, do y'all want a chart that y'all want me to do it on? I was supposed to go to SPY. I forgot about that. Look, SPY did it before I charted. Oh my God, it did it so beautifully. Ooh, look at your RSI. Stop playing with that RSI. Bullish Divergent, right? Candles going down, RSI starts to push up, right? Boom, hits your 50 mark. That's like aftermarket, pre-market, flushes down, comes down, give you that double bottom on your RSI, pushes up. But this is what I mean by it did it on SPY, the stairway. How it's just bouncing and going up. You see how it hits your 50 mark, comes back down, comes back, boom, breaks it, how it's gonna find it. Look how the stairs is gonna find it. It's gonna stay in that pattern. It's gonna find right there. Find support right there, come back up, find some more support, and it's gonna travel all the way up like that. And it'll do you dirty and travel it longer, right? If you go down to your smaller time frame, like 5, let's see it done. It didn't do it nicely, but it still did it. But basically, I see it. I'm sorry, I have to explain what I'm seeing. Like it broke. I was trying to see if it did a nice little pattern coming up, but it broke this 50 mark. Once it broke this 50 mark, that's what I look for. Break and staying above it or coming to test it, right? And all it did was stay above it a little bit, then it consolidated, try to break again, give you double tops right here. But you see how it broke your 50, but it found support on it. You see how it broke again? Boom, it came right back up and found support and went crazy. This right here on a smaller time frame is gonna be crazy. This right here. See, look, it was like the 50 mark bounce. It just broke it. It had to break it a little bit more so it could give a better power move. Look at this power move. As soon as it came down, this is the same part we were just talking about on whatever time frame I was on, right? Stairways to heaven. Just a little bit testing. Let's see if we're gonna stay right there. That's all this consolidation. Let's fake these people out. People that went for calls, we're gonna fake them out. We're gonna make them take profits right now and take a small profit or cut for break even or take a little loss because it's consolidating. You might be doing 0 DTE, whatever the case may be, right? Boom, bow, breakout. And this is what I mean by it'll do this on a daily time frame all day. All day. I'm gonna say it again. It'll do this all day on a daily time frame. And when you see it happening on a smaller time frame, like a 5 minute, a 3 minute, or a 15 minute, get your money. This right here is money. Whenever it goes oversold and it starts to bounce right here, your stock goes flying. If it bounces from there and goes back up, look at that little small bounce. Boop. Look at your candles though, right? Look at this small bounce. Boop. Look how your stocks goes flying, right? And that's what I like when you find this happening on a smaller time frame. But then again, you could also see it. I'm on a 1 minute right here. You knew this was going to end up dying because it broke this little, I'm gonna just call it support, right? Boom, because we're on a 1 minute. And then it broke this, it came down to this support. And what is it doing? Testing that support, making it weaker, breaks, comes back, breaks. First, it wasn't breaking, breaks, comes back, breaks down lower. Higher, lower highs, lower lows, does it again, tries to go for another run, and it does, boom, boom, boom. And if it ever does this, what you see this, it goes up higher, as you see, because look, it's a form of consolidation. And the thing is, the reason it's going up higher, I'm sorry that I failed to say this, but I know I said it earlier, it's the simple fact that it's bouncing off your 50% your 50 mark. The contracts print more. Anytime, like if you're coming down and it bounces off of that and goes back up, you're gonna go like, look at this. When we went up here, we were all the way down here, right? I'm gonna make this white. We were all the way down here. We're gonna end right here, right here. We're gonna end right here and we're gonna make this one white. So you can see that whole move. You just, let me make this red. Nah, I shouldn't do that. No, oh, well, I can't. That's a 50% retracement. But you can see, let's say you got in somewhere down here, right? Boom, oversold, still made all that money. Pullback, look at that small pullback, but it looks so big on your RSI. Super small, boom, run up. Look at your RSI, how it's just creeping up. But these candles are running higher and higher. Look how they're going down lower. Higher and higher and higher and higher off the consolidation. Why? Because it's bouncing off your 50 mark. Boom. Stupid move right there. Just because it finally bounced up hard. Now let's keep looking at this. Look how high your candles are. And look at your RSI. It came back down. Look, even when you fall, breaks median. This is when you're going to start losing a lot of your profits. But look at your candles. You still up so high from your entry. And you just hit the bottom of oversold again. All right, so you feel me? So that's why I like to use the RSI and I like to do certain things, because what I understand is it's like this looks like the stop. Like the candlesticks. Boom, boom, we're going up higher. We get a pullback to go up higher. Even though we come down here, it's just for some support to go up higher and go up higher and higher. I don't really want to chart SPY because it's kind of like already charted. I just got to clean it up and do other things. Does anybody have something they would like me to chart? Yeah, dude, I really don't want to chart my SPY chart. I can though. Why do you want to trade SPY? But yeah, I'll chart it. Delete. Oh snap! I never checked general. I said I stopped loss today in the trade. Went in my favor. So hard from. Wait, what? So I didn't end up needing to be stopped out, but my profits went down. And on my session, it shows it for the stop loss, even though I didn't need it. And the order, I don't understand what happened. I kind of understand what you're saying, but I don't. Let me read it one more time. I said a stop loss today. The trade went in my favor and I sold higher. So you sold the trade. So I didn't end up needing to be stopped out, but my profits went down. And my active showed an order for the stop loss, even though I didn't need it. Oh, in the order. It sounds to me just reading that the stop moved pretty quickly, Jazz, and you still got stopped out. Best thing I can do is like take you over to the chart. Bitcoin. One minute. You see what I mean? What the hell is this? Oh, I drew all that. Oh, this is not my Bitcoin chart I use. Okay, got you. All right, so this is what happened. Well, I don't know if this is what happened, but this is what it sounds like. Man, why you gotta be going down? Jesus. And I'm gonna put one right here. All right, look how quickly it hit that alert. You see that? See how quickly it hit that alert? Look how quickly it's gonna hit these alerts. You can have a stop loss, right? Look how quickly it's hitting those alerts. I can't even put them on quick enough. And I keep having to do the top one. See that? And it's still down. It's still red. You never seen it go green. You see that? That's what happened to me in my eyes. Now you just finally see it go green for the first time. You only seen it go green on the doji, but you never seen it actually give you that move. Why? Because the chart is lagged. Bitcoin probably really up there somewhere. But this is what the chart is telling us. Right? So it's just the time difference, but I believe that's why you ended up getting stopped out. Let me put it at a 2. Would it go 2 bar? Nah, it can't. It only have 1 more minute. But long story short, I think that's what happened. If you're able to see that one of your contracts got sold at a stop loss, that's what happened. You got the stock was moving pretty volatile and you got stopped out on one of them. And what happened was both of your orders didn't get filled. What they did was rob you, right? Because CD Ameritrade be doing that to me all the time, where it's like, I learned a trick. Say I could be trying to buy like 10 contracts, right at I wouldn't call it the bid, but right where Robinhood has their contracts at, and it won't fill my order. But if I buy 30 of them, TD fills my order. And on top of that, they fill my order. What I like about TD is I really don't care about the fees that they charge me, but your percentage and your money goes up by 50% increments. So I can't sell my contracts for 2,050 cents, but it'll give me percentage. It'll give me my dollar amount increase by 50 cents. Robinhood, the other ones are going to give you $1 increase at all times. TD Ameritrade will work with you and give you a 50-cent increase. So to me, that's worth a lot, because for every 2 contracts that I gain 50 cents on, I make $1. So that's what it sounds like to me, that you got stopped out and then it just didn't fill all those orders. Why? Because you see how it was like stopping, like, well, hitting that alert. Basically, how can I say it? Like how it hit that alert, but it wasn't going up higher, right? So they were only able to get you for that 1 contract. They couldn't get you for the 3 contracts or the 2 contracts that you bought, just because the price went to $20.01 and stood there for 2 milliseconds. You know, if it would have stood there for like 5 more seconds or something like that, you know, I don't know. I'm just trying to think of something, you know, that could have got recorded. Like, hey, the price actually went down here and was down there. You know what I'm saying? So it could be that, because like, you got to understand, when you see these wicks, that's why I say, like, people don't be catching these bottom of these wicks. That thing moves too fast for you to catch that, especially if you're on a 1-minute chart. You don't see how, like, I'd be like, look, yeah, you caught that. you got Twitter fingers. So yeah. Let's take it over to SPY. Question. That's the main chart that I study also, newbie. What's the main chart you study? SPY? Because that I study. Oh, he said, because that's the one that I study. Yeah, I feel you, bro. SPY just got his own mind, bro. That's why I'm saying that. And I only said that because, like, SPY is like at a double top slick. Well, not slick, it is. And you just really don't know at this level. But I'll give you the analysis behind it though. So when I'm going to trade a stock, take it over to the monthly, right? You can even take it over to the 3-month. I'm only going to take 3-month if I need to, because I'm going to take it over to the monthly, and I'm going to do classes on this, but I want to draw myself a broad information. I'm going to take it from one high to another high, and I'll fix it on a different time frame if need to be. I'll do this one, and I'll fix it on a different time frame because I'm gonna see it better. I just wanted the accurate high. See, I knew I was gonna see it better. And the way you're supposed to draw broad information, I just did it my way, because I like to go from left to right, but it's always best, and I'll just do it over. And it's not that I like to do it that way, it's just what I'm using. I'm using this kind of, I'm using the ray. So if I do it that way, it's gonna do it the way that I don't need it to. But if you wanna do it the correct way, you just use your trend line, and you go from one high to the other high like that. And you could just extend it, I guess. But I don't like to have to do too much work, but that's basically how you will want to draw your broad information, is from the right to left, right? So you can have a better understanding, but I'm gonna do it the way that makes it easier for me. And it could possibly be easier for you that way as well. So take it from there. And it's easier when you can see them on smaller time frames, and depending on what you're trying to do on those smaller time frames, and I'm gonna just do it from there because I already seen it on the weekly. It was kind of like on that one, so I'll take it over to the weekly so I can fix it. Yeah, it was perfect. It was straight, cool. But let's connect it a little better. But that's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna find my broadening formation so I can find my bottom. So I can know, hey, am I in the middle of a range, or am I at the top of a range? Because if I'm at the top, I know to short. If I'm at the bottom, I know to go for calls. If I'm in a middle of a range, I know to wait for the next day, right? To see if I possibly get on this, well, the next week will show me if I'm gonna get the 322 reversal. right? So after I do that on my on the monthly and coming down to the weekly, I just look, right? SPY is just super easy to do it. So that's why I didn't want to do it on SPY, because it's really not giving all, like, it's not really telling me so much. I already know all the data that it's telling me, right? So I like to come back to SPY in a few days and see if it told me anything differently, right? But right now we're sitting on a massive head and shoulders on the weekly, right? And the head and shoulders that's massive is going to be shoulder, head, shoulder, right? And that is a massive one. This is your neckline right here, where we've been flirting at and breaking wicks. And it's been coming right back. So that's that. Excuse me. I see that on SPY. So that keeps me alert on, hey, we're not bullish on SPY yet. It don't matter if the day was bullish or something like that. Overall, we're just not bullish on SPY. And you can see that by going to the 3 month. You can see we are still in a correction move. We're still inside, right? We haven't broke no highs and no lows. So SPY has actually just been consolidating. We go over to the monthly. No, that's an inside bar too. It is just consolidating. Oh no, that's not an inside bar. That went 2 down real quickly. I missed that. Then the weekly, we got a nice actionable signal, which is a pin bar. And I went over all of that just to show you, like, it's still kind of bearish, right? We're at the neckline right here, pivotal area, excuse me. Let me check my 10-day chart, because I got 12 days on it. Beautiful. Could possibly be seeing a reversal coming in, right? And I'm looking at it for 12 in the next 12 days, but we have 12 days for this candle to finish out. And if it does want to grow, I see it getting shorted at 252. Take this over to, let me see, what else do I see? Because I'm just looking at the strat. Yeah, it's just inside, still head and shoulders inside. No form of direction for the 2-week chart. For the daily, our direction is up. Me just checking out the daily chart now, it was looking like a double top when it's because I had it up big like this. I still wouldn't consider this to be a double top, not just yet. It kind of can be, since we got several candles first and now it came back up and it stopped right there. So yes, you can't consider that as a double top, but let's go ahead and wait for pre-market, right? Because I don't want to call that earlier and then you want to hit now, and then we gap up, right? But what I do like about this setup right here, 3-bar setup, is a morning star, right? Not the perfect morning star, but still a morning star. Here, I'll show you a trick, because I see it, but I don't know if anybody else sees it. It's just mirroring itself. There goes your morning star. There goes your morning star. Last time it did that at this level, it ran for a couple of days, well, a couple of weeks. So, and that's another thing when I was mentioning Jordan and giving him his flowers, the bottom. This is like, nobody knows the bottom, but this, anything at 415, 422 is the bottom right now for SPY. Of course, you could say 411, but we haven't even seen 411 since January or February, might I say, right? So that's what I'm seeing on SPY. SPY looking like it's going to be bullish tomorrow, right? It's looking like it probably go all the way to about 436 and then come back down. I think I was talking to Kenya and I was like, bro, I see SPY trying to push to 435, and that was like super earlier in the day. Take it to the 4-hour. Oh, and also let's talk about the RSI, because we were just learning that, right? RSI is creeping up, right? It didn't bottom all the way out, but that doesn't matter because the RSI doesn't always bottom all the way out, right? But normally when it does bottom out on SPY, that's when it starts going really bullish, right? So that's what I normally look for, but it's looking like the reversal is already here. We got it on daily. So now this is when you start trying to correlate your strat, right? Because now we're getting into smaller time frames, which anything that is daily and smaller is intraday trading, right? So for the 4-hour RSI, like what we learned about, the little stairway, boom, hits, pullback, is gonna either break it or tap it, pull back a little bit more, and then break it, right? Because that's what SPY likes to do, or what the RSI likes to do. Anytime you see a 2 up with an inside bar, that is a bearish move, right? But you got to keep, the reason I say that, you got to keep in mind why I say that is because we already got our reversal right here, 2 down, 2 up. So this can turn quickly into a bearish move because anytime you get the 2 up, it goes green. I don't count this color, green to red. That's what it normally does, or it goes red to green on the strat, but we have no new lows. I like that we have no new lows. On top of that, what is this support right here? This is, I said support, but what is this line? That's my 60-minute opening. And we can be possibly seeing a continuation, right? Because we just got our reversal. So here we go. And this is what I mean by like red to green, green to red. 2, 1, 2 right here, red to green. Yes, this candle is red, but that is a green 2 up, right? Red to green. This is a red candle. And once you start learning the strat, they will not confuse you no more. It's just, I used to get faked out, like, and be like, man, what? It's just, this is a 2 up. We opened up right here and we started failing. That's all that happened. But red to green, and then green to red, right? Green. Oh, and anytime you see the green to green, that's just continuation. That's because we got the reversal right here already, right? 3, 2, well, 2 up. First it was 2 down, went 2 up, 3. So it's like 2 up still. Then you got the continuation, 2, 2, 2, 2, 2, 2, 2s. Well, not all 2s, 2, 1, 2s, 3, 2, 2s. So going down to my 3 hour, got the Morningstar reversal, right? That correlates with my 2 up, 1 red down. Right there, that correlates with that, but I'm still not breaking any lows. And look at your RSI, break, right? Bounce, pull back. Let's take it back to the 4 hour. I really want you to learn this. Same setup. See that? Take it over to the 2 hour. This is breaking down from top to bottom, and why the heck I would go for calling, right? Excuse my language. Everything I've been trying to show y'all. Break. I mean, test, pullback, test, pullback, break, whatever, right? You see it already happening on your 2 hour. That's why I brought you back to the 4 hour. Remember? Test. It already tested it, it broke it. The more I'm going to these smaller time frames, it's showing me that we broke it already. Don't miss your move now, right? The daily gonna make you miss that move. The 4 hours gonna make you miss that move because now you think it's going back bearish, and it's all it's doing is pulling back. 3 hours gonna make you miss that move, and it's gonna make you feel like it's going down, and you're gonna end up buying it when you see that reversal come back up, and you're gonna buy it at the high. And I'm only saying that because I used to do that, right? You have to be wise, you have to be a fool. There it is, 2 hour. And now what we see, Morningstar, Evening Star. Morningstar, remember what I said, right? Green, red to green, green to red. What's next? Red. What's next? Somebody say it. Red to green. I'll read those in a second. Go to the hourly. Voila, magic. That's how you break it down from top to bottom using the strat. But I know I'm understanding what I'm saying. If somebody doesn't understand, please ask me a question. Yeah, because it's 10:03. I'm about to jump off here soon. But please ask me a question because I would want y'all to learn this. So again, remember what I was telling y'all, red to green, right? Red to green. Them bigger time frames, you use them for certain things and you use them to get targets, right? Right now, I'm breaking down the strat for you. I'm going to come back and get those targets, but I'm understanding that a lot of people, the strat confuses them. So I want to break things down before I just like, oh, this is the target. This is the target. This is this. So it's TTOing, or let me not say that because that's another strat term. But we just went TTO, that means triangle day out. That means PMG enforced. PMG to the upside, PMG to the downside, takes out this PMG, creates another PMG to the upside for you to take it out. And you can basically see it right here coming down, right? It just basically, well, it didn't do it that beautiful. The best one was right here. Going up, then TTO back down. Going up, TTO right back down. The stock does this all day. If you like the 5-minute time frame, that's what the 5-minute time frame does all day. It ranges. If you know how to trade support and resistance, you'll bank all day on the 5-minute, or especially the 3-minute. Shout out to CJ for that. So long story short, remember what I said, red to green, right? And then you have in morning stars, you're having actionable signals. So now let me show you something. Actionable signal, actionable signal. Anytime you got it, it went. Actionable signal to the upside. I wanted to go up though, right? But this is a red gravestone, right? So it didn't matter. Boom, reversal to the downside. Why? Because it couldn't break. I'm looking at the strat. Even though I know what this candlestick is, I'm also knowing what the strat is and what this candlestick is. This candlestick wants to run up because it's a dragonfly, right? But the fact that I did not break my last high, this guy ain't going nowhere. Volume getting lower, but it's getting, when I say it's getting lower for the bulls, it's getting higher for the bears, right? Boom, you can see the volume coming up, right? Even though volume is decreasing right here, that does not mean anything, right? That is just that time frame. Boom, it's decreasing. Look at the big increase right here, but your big move was right here. So that's why I say don't get fooled by that volume stick, right? Because then the next one came out and look, boom, slap you out to a trade. But long story short, actionable signal. Every time you seen it, it went down. Well, it's not an actionable signal. I'll take that back. I apologize. Actionable signal, gravestone, bow to the downside, right? This is not an actionable signal, but it's like a reversal, right? Because the 2 down, 2 up, but it's actionable to me because it's giving me actionable signals with a reversal. These are pin bars, right? So it's actionable to me. This right here also this is not actionable to me, but this is actionable to me. This pin bar, it will be actionable if it was, well, no, it can be actionable because that's the 3rd red candle to the downside. So yeah, that's actionable. Oh no, I don't want to say that. I need to teach that on these candles because it's just tricks that I know with using different type of candles. Like with these candles, it'll be actionable. Whenever you get 3 in a row of these, please try to remember that. Whenever you get 3 in a row on Heikin-Ashi candles, boom, take it all the way down because it normally does that whenever you get 3 in a row. And it's because it's 3 black crows or 3 white soldiers. These kind of candlesticks are basically trend candlesticks, right? So normally when you get 3 of them and you can go back test them, right? Sometimes you're going to get faked out, but the strategy works very well. That's how I learned how to trade at first, but I don't use that strategy as much no more because I don't use Heikin-Ashi candles. But once you get 3 in a row, you go for the next one and just ride that guy out all the way down. Let me switch that. I just had to correct myself because it doesn't really work with candlesticks. But with the Heikin-Ashi, it does. But that's very actionable to me. 2-1-2 reversal, red to green. So go ahead and break it down to the 45-minute. Red to green, right? We just went 2 up. This strat is so sick. And you can see the straight TTO, right? Reversal kicking in, right? Y, boom, bounce, double bottom. 30-minute, bear flagging. And it's piercing, actionable signal to the upside, 2-1-2. Remember, we started this 2-1-2 on the hour. Or was it the 2 hour? It was a 2 hour. You see how it's correlating with my bigger time frame? So so if I was trying to swing, the 4 hours is gonna throw me off and it's not gonna tell me to swing that. But I can, right? Because it's still my setup 2-1-2, right? This one would just be a continuation, right? But I'm gonna like the 2 hour better because I want to go along with the strat. I don't even like continuations. Like I do, but I try to stay away from them. I understand why Sarah Sniper tells people to do that. But long story short, I like the reversal. So I'm gonna correlate it with, instead of the 4 hour, with the 2 hour. But if I bring you all the way back down, we've been seeing 2-1-2s, 2-1-2s, right? Red to green, green to red, yes. But we can find support right here, right? Like a little ugly at, sorry. Head and shoulder, shoulder, head, shoulder, boom, and go right back up. So go down, that's not gonna scare me though. Go to 15-minute. All right, let's see what's going on. RSI done went all the way up here. It's gonna try to come down and find some support, but it's actually bull flagging. There goes my 2-1-2 reversal. So we're still in the reversal, right? The 2-1-2 reversal started on a smaller time frame and is giving it to me on a bigger time frame on a 2 hour, letting me know that it wants to continue, right? To give me a continuation. So that's how I'm breaking it down and having multiple time frame analysis, right? And this right here is showing me my reversal and it's showing my continuation, right? So Go down to the 10 minutes, same thing. It looks like it's probably going to try to TTO, but there's no movement in the after hour. So definitely understand that. And I would actually want it to go all the way down there so it could bounce early in the morning, right? Like what we're seeing. So it's just looking like a little bull flag ready to bounce. Like it looks like it's trying to do this pre-market, like this right here, and bull flag and just take his butt back up there, 5 minute. Same thing. See, TTOing, it's just giving time. You see how I keep bouncing? It's just giving time for the market to open. Yeah, it's giving time. So SPY can just go down right there, boom, and just bounce. So now let me go ahead and chart it. I just broke it down on the Strat term on I actually like calls now that I looked at it. So say we're day trading, right? So the first thing I'm gonna do, I'm gonna set you up this way. Let me look at the weekly though real quick. Give you some juice. Just in case it wants to run. Weekly, wow. And that's my weekly target. That is not like a weekly thing. That's just my weekly target. That's its magnitude. I do not see a SPY going to 450. So now that I know that, I don't have no nearby targets to take out. No type of nearby targets. The only target that I could possibly take out is this high, but you don't have to draw it on a weekly because that's your daily high, possibly, right? No, that was like Monday's high, right? So, ooh, delete. Let me delete this one because I don't like it. So this will now become your entry point, right? And we can find a quicker entry point. That's an entry point for a call. And then this is an entry point for a put right here, but we can find another quicker entry point. And we got a nearby target right there. Red, put TP, take profit. And I would definitely, if it goes down and hits 415, I'll definitely take profit there. If it, yeah, I definitely take profit at 415. Yep, 415.12. And I already did 415.12 get taken out? Yes, because it went to 415.01. So that'll be entry. Take you over to the 4 hour. And I draw it up like this. Reason being is because now that I know I did it off of those time frames, I have a choice. Since I'm a strat trader, this is my daily low, my daily high, right? Which are my entry points too, right? So now I have one little nearby target and I have a magnitude. That will also be my no, I have one right here too. See, because I went to a smaller time frame. You got a magnitude of 412, right? And you could possibly have another one. You got more down here, all the way down here. And that's why, like, I find more targets. It's all the way from this day, but it's still close. And I could see it hitting if we hit 412, right? So now that I did that, let me bring it back up here. I think we straight on those put targets because that's all the targets that we have to the downside. Once these targets get taken out, I don't look for puts anymore, especially if we're at the bottom. If we're touching this yellow line, I'm definitely looking for calls. Anytime we touch it, we run right back up, right? Because that's the bottom of our broadening formation. Y'all see me draw that on our weekly. I did it on monthly, fixed it on weekly. So real quick, just so I can get some quick targets before I go to any other time frame and explain anything, let's make these green. These are going to be take profit levels, right? Did I miss any? Nah, I like all of those right there. So now I know I can take profits all right here, but I have more take profit zones, right? So now I have the choice. And this is like to help you just in case you want to strat, or even if you're not stratting, right? Because it can help you regardless of the fact, because strat is just your candlesticks. You can have an entry point, and I'll just draw it. We'll just delete it if we find other ones. Delete. So if we want to be impatient because we got FOMO and everything, now we know we can enter in for puts at 421 and not enter in at 415. And now 415 could be a target. But before 415, we know we have another target right here at 420. See where I'm going with it? Like the smaller you, when you already start charting it up and the smaller you go, you have, you basically make your risk to reward ratio, your risk smaller and your reward bigger, right? Because now I'm at an inside bar, right? And always remember this is your stop loss. Say if you want to go for calls and this is your entry point, this is going to be your stop loss. So if you entered in here and it comes back down here, this is your stop loss, right? So this is still a nice little range for SPY, 427 all the way to 422. Do we want to risk that much? Those are the kind of questions you want to ask yourself when you're trading. And when you're like, hey, chart up this for me or this or that. Do you want to risk that? All right, nah. All right, Moody. So take me over to, like, find me a dope entry point. All right, boom. Take it over to, you could go to your 3 hour and see what kind of setup you have there, but it's still going to set you up for the same thing, right? I'm going to bring this bad boy over to like the 45 minute because I actually like the 45. And now I'm seeing where I wouldn't want to play this setup. No, I wouldn't. It's just because SPY can fake you out real quickly. So basically, this is a good range though, right? Because you can have an entry. You can have an entry of 424.57, or you can have an entry for a put at, like, I'll give it some wiggle room at 423.45. And now that's your risk to reward. So it's like, if we go up and we start going up, it's just you not being greedy. Take some profit right here, right? Bow. Because that would, you got in quicker. So take profits at your other entry. You know what I'm saying? So I'm trying to find a dope setup. And give me some time because I want to give you a good entry on it where you don't get faked out. And now that I've drawn it up and I'm going to a smaller time frame because I know that we day trade, this 5 minute chart is basically showing me my levels. Like, yeah, I have all these take profit zones, right? But it's showing me my levels and showing me like, okay, cool. This is where like SPY likes to play. I can't really see it as much right here, right? But I have to go further back, but I can see that when I'm on a bigger time frame. So me just seeing the way SPY is moving, I honestly like it at the entries that I have it right now. And if you're seeing the charts, you can see like these are some great entries. I wouldn't even want to bring this entry down to 424 for SPY. If you want to bring it down further to try to get in quicker for calls, I'll take it at like this one right here. This is a good entry. 425.84. The reason I say that is because once it gets up here, it might short, right? But if it breaks past this, it has the opportunity to mirror this candle. This is a quick PMG. So I can see it mirror this candle and then take out those quick targets before it tries to pull back again, right? And that's from 525 all the way to 527. I mean, sorry, 425 all the way to 427. That's still a good move on SPY. So I'm about to fix everything for you. I'm gonna keep this one, turn this one green, and see all these entries that I made turns into targets. And then all of these wicks are targets as well. And I'm gonna draw it all out for you real quick. So I'm gonna do that for calls. We're gonna do that for puts. And then let me go ahead and grab you some more put targets. Oh, dang. All right, and I'm gonna just back this out and y'all could be able to take a picture, and then I'll read the last couple of questions before I jump off of here. But if you want to unmute your mic and talk, you're more than able. or welcome. I would have left them like this, but I don't know if it'll throw anybody off. I try to like have it color coordinated so you guys can know what to do and what not to do. Dang, I forgot to give you these. All right, and I'll put it on the hour. It'll look straight on there. And look, the hour, I forgot to go to the hour. My apologies. You can actually play the hour. I super apologize. Thank God I seen it. I'm not, well, I'll just draw it out. Just know that this is your entry, these two white ones, but you're about to have two new white lines. But these are the entries that I like. But I'm not gonna lie, these are probably gonna be your best entries. And it's because it's my setup 2-1-2. And I talked about it and still forgot to go back to the 1 hour. I'm just tired. Dang, I just drew it again. Delete. This one worked. Yeah, these two are gonna be your best entries. I like that setup right there. But, and when you take the pictures, you just know like, these are your entries, these are your entries, right? Whichever one you wanna go for, and then let me lower this down. I'll turn this off. There you go. And then you just put these the best way you can. You might not have the right sense, but it still be good. Just throw them on to your chart and you'll be fine. But that would be my entries and my levels, and I'll keep it like this, and then put it out tomorrow and show you what it did and show you how it hit whichever direction it wanted to go. Is going to take out those levels. Let me answer these questions before I get off. Thanks, Anthony. Well, I appreciate you. You were here helping out. Spy was 412 the other day, Monday or Tuesday. Ah, see, I like that, man. You should have set that on the live and like correct me. Like Moody 412. Stop playing. All right, spy. As always, Moody's is amazing in terms of information I have to pick out later, family. Oh, absolutely, bro. Appreciate you. Yeah, man. I was actually trying to just do this for an hour. Yeah, man. Does anybody have any other questions? I have another question, but I need to unmute. How do I unmute? Dang.
Oh, no, I do. So I appreciate all these jewels, man, but I had one question, something you said earlier that was really interesting. And it concerned, it was talking about a trade. You said, check out the pre-market and look at the high or the low and then where it opens that morning, right? You were talking about the pre-market.
Yeah.
And then where the stock would open the next morning, you would either do like a put or a call, depending on where it closed, or where the high was or where the low was on pre-market.
Yeah, I know what you're trying to ask. I'll just show it to you on Apple. So you have to have your extended hours on. So yeah. Some people use this right here, regular time, you won't be able to see anything, right? So when you're using this one, extended hours, it'll give you all these extra little small candles right here that is happening pre-market and aftermarket. You can see the time right here, the timestamp. You'll see that that's 7 o'clock in the morning, right? So this was aftermarket at 16, right? At 1600 hours. So that's 8 o'clock. This is 7 o'clock in the morning. And then that's 8 o'clock in the morning, right? Because I'm on an hourly time frame. And then I have 9, let's do 30 minutes. Excuse me. So right here, you'll see 7 o'clock, right? 8 o'clock. And let me draw it out for you. This is going to be your pre-market highs. And this is going to be your pre-market lows at 9 o'clock right here. And I'll keep showing it to you on the chart. So basically, you can go for calls. It's like a strategy. You can go for calls. This bar right here is 930. You can see it down here. If it would have opened up higher than pre-market, or even like say it opened up like right here and it's consolidating and it's starting to go up right here, and you see it going about you see it breaking pre-market highs, you can go for calls, right? And if you see it breaking pre-market lows, you could go for puts. In this scenario, it broke pre-market lows, right? The bottom white line is your low. As soon as it broke your low, it was put city for the rest of the day. They were only going to put it because it broke lows, right? Now check it out here. This is your pre-market. I want to make sure. All right, cool. This is your pre-market highs, right? At 7 o'clock in the morning. This is your pre-market lows at 9 o'clock. Now check it out. 9:30 hit, boom, breaks pre-market high. Some people got faked out. Some people stood inside their trade, came right back down, came down close to your pre-market lows, didn't break, bounced off of close to your pre-market lows. Once it bounced, boom, broke pre-market highs again. It ran, gave you your money. That's from, even if this was your entry point, that is from 157 all the way to 159, my brother. Take your money and run. Now it ran right back down, and then it gave you the move again. But that was like after hours, right? Every single time, like right here, I'm not gonna draw the lines, but you see it right here. This after hours, pre-market highs right here at 7 o'clock. Well, let's see. No, this is your pre-market highs because 8:30. This is pre-market highs. This is pre-market lows. Right here at 7 o'clock, this pin bar is your pre-market lows. Here, let me just draw the line. Bow. And then this is your high. And then sometimes it'll tell you, don't trade the stock at all, right? Because it hits your, look, this is pre-market lows. This is 9:30 right here when it comes out. His pre-market lows, fakes you out. It just took that target out. That's all it did. Boom, came back, goes back up, went up, faked you out. It ranged inside. At the end of the day, it broke out for a swing and still faked you out, right? Because when it opened up in the morning, you lost all your profit.
Yikes.
So yeah, see pre-market lows and highs right here. Highs, 8:30, 9 o'clock right here, 9:30, boom, bye-bye.
Wow.
And I'm on a 30-minute chart. Like if I was to take you on a 5-minute chart, you'll see it even better. Like this is 7 o'clock right here. You're seeing the falling wedge. 9 o'clock comes in, 9:10, 9, look, boom, 9:30, boom, takes out the whole PMG.
Taking profit right there.
Exactly. That's why when it comes to anybody that's trading when the market opens, I feel bad for you if you're not a scalper, because you're gonna see profits and you're gonna lose it every single time because you're not gonna understand the first 5 minutes is literally a scalper's game. It's like people that are gambling, like, oh, I'm gonna go for calls and I'm gonna go for puts. You know what I'm saying? Some people go for both of them. You know what I'm saying? Do a straddle, sell in the first 3 minutes, take their profits on their calls. That thing starts traveling down, they might just break even or take profits on their puts. They're done trading for the day.
Wow.
And then just think about it, if you buy 30, 40 contracts and you catch that move right there, boom, I'm not putting out another trade. I'm done.
For the day, that's my 8 hours right there. In 5 minutes.
You feel me? But did that answer your question though?
Absolutely. That was perfect. I appreciate that, man.
Yeah, absolutely. Did you get to ask your question, Raymond? Nice. All right. Yes. All right. Well, I really truly appreciate everybody for joining the class. If you have any suggestions on what kind of class you would like, please just DM me, drop them in the chat, or open up a support ticket and let us know there, or just ask. If it's something really simple, I'll probably just integrate it with something else. I know somebody, I forgot his name. He wanted to learn about supply and demand. I know I spoke about it a little bit, so I'll talk about it next. with something else. But I do have a question for the remaining 50 people that are on here right now. For the next class, since it wasn't recorded, would you guys like to have another option beginners class, or would you like to just learn more about charts and then go back into the option beginners class? Charts. Oh, okay, cool. I'll do that all day. Yes, please do options beginners either. Cool, gotcha. Look, I am literally about to hop off, but I'm gonna do y'all a favor. Because I was gonna do that. Everybody go to Robinhood. I'm gonna do this pretty fast. I'm gonna just try to think of a stock. Let's say Apple. I know the implied volatility is going to be crazy. We ain't going to be looking at that. We ain't worried about that. All right. What I want you guys to notice is how much, dang, it's not going to really work with Apple. Let me go to somebody else. It's because they just had earnings. Microsoft did too. Dang, somebody give me a stock. Let me go to WBA. Let's go to Walgreens. All right, let's go to WBA, Walgreens. So you already see how the April 29th are losing so much value on their contracts. Let's just go ahead and click the $45 call for April 29th. You see your grease is $29.69. Then it's $40.20 that you're able to make. You combine both of those together, and that's going to create your dollar amount on how much you're going to make if the underlying stock goes up $1. And then your theta, this is what I want you guys to focus on. It is $20.47, right? For the people that are working and want to be able to swing with less risk, I know I've been talking about 2-week contracts, like basically going to May 6th or May 13th. You can go to May 6th and you see the difference, like I explained, versus going with that weekly contract that is going to rob you for $20 off rip when the market opens. The next week.
Are you showing the screen?
No, I'm not. If I do, then whatchamacallit, I'm gonna have to stop this recording. But I'm gonna do this option class and show my screen with it. I just wanted you guys to follow along. But say on May the 6th, you'll only lose $4.99. If you go to May 13th, you'll lose $3.61, right? And I'm gonna bring you back real quick. So on this one, on the $45 call for May 13th, the delta is at $44.32, and then the gamma is at $14.69. If you go to the May 16th, it is at $41.54, and then the gamma is at $19.73. Now, I'm not going to try to find one. I'm going to just scroll all the way to like June 17th, just so I can show you something. I'm going to go to June 17th, $45 call. You're going to pay a little bit more for this premium, right? Or you can go to the 47.5 if you don't, if you want to just pay $100 less. But go ahead and click on this one. It's the same freaking Greeks as a 2-week or a 3-week contract with less theta. You're only going to lose $1.85, but you're still making on Delta $48.08, Gamma $8.67. Let's go to the 47.5 one. You see where I'm going with it? You're still losing $1 and something. Let's say you just want to slick kind of leap this, and you want to go 55 call. They only cost $8, but you only lose 45 cents a day. Right? You see where I'm going with that? It won't hurt your value as much. So let's say we go over to a lot next year, January 2023, and you go to $45 call. Look at your theta on this one. Yes, you're going to pay a little bit more for the premium, right? But I want you guys to be able to understand something. Like, the person that bought these contracts, 9 times out of 10, they're not going to lose. Even if the stock drops dramatically, they're holding and they're only losing 75 cents a day, but their delta, they're automatically, every single time the dollar amount, the underlying stock goes up $1, they're making $52.79. So they're making 52, 53, 54, 55, 56, like $57.79. $57, let's put it like that. They're making about around $57 and only losing 75 cents a day on these contracts. And then you have the open interest on this contract. There's 3,000 people. I mean, 3,200 contracts open. 26 of those contracts got traded today. Right? The high was the low 365 all the way to 395. And that's another way that you can, trade options where, oh, okay, Zay called out the $45 call. Man, I can't monitor this. And I've been losing, or I'm not able to get into Moody's entries on time because the stocks are moving too fast. So let me go ahead and grab this one. And, if you believe, because you're looking at the trade too, that this has more potential, then you go further out, you got more time. Doesn't mean that you have to hold it that long, but you still take your percentage. It may be a little less percentage than what a weekly contract is making, but you're still gonna do pretty well. But yeah, that's all I was gonna say. Thank you guys for joining. I really truly appreciate y'all. And my bad, because I just thought about it. I could have just logged into my dummy account on Robinhood on my computer, but I didn't think about it. I was just trying to run it through. But I'm definitely going to give the option beginners class again, and it's going to be the same but a lot different because I freestyled it, so I'm not going to remember how I did it. But I'm gonna implement what I just showed you guys and make sure that you guys can be able to see it. But that's it for me today. Thank you guys for joining again, and God bless y'all. Have a blessed night.
Thank you, Moody.
Absolutely. Yeah, no problem, everybody.
Thank you, man.
Yes, sir.
Good night.
Good night, bro.